Assalamu alaikum, this is RPS Fia and welcome to the platform of Pharmapedia with a new topic of does potency predict the clinical efficacy. So let's begin the lecture. What are the receptors? Receptors are the basically macromolecules proteinic in nature on the plasma membrane or the cytoplasm that bind the drugs and initiate its effect. Now what are these effects? There are the three types of the effects. Either it do nothing, lead to some undesirable effect, initiate a sequence of biochemical reactions that ultimately result in a desirable therapeutic effect. This is basically the picture of receptor and its binding. The type of the receptor shown in this picture is ligand-gated receptor. Ligand bind to the receptor, ligand-gated receptor present on the cell membrane. Now drug receptor interaction. Drug receptor interaction is a lock and key model, drug as a key and the receptor as a lock. Two important properties of the drug which behave as a key should be considered. First, will the drug bind to the receptor, will the key fit in the lock? Second, will the drug activate the receptor, will the key turn and open the lock? So there are the two considerations, binding and activation. This is a drug and receptor visual representation. In the pink ball this is a drug and in the green structure it is a receptor. The drug bind with the receptor and activate the receptor which produce the conformational changes and produce the effect. Now next is a log dose response curve. What is a log dose response curve? Dose response curve are the most often mathematically transformed to a semi-log scale. It is basically drawn on the semi-log graph paper. This is a mathematical calculation. It allows easier graphical comparison of different dose response curve. This is drawn on the semi-log graph paper. Now next is all or none response. What is all or none response? Basically when the drug bind with the receptor, either is produced fully response or either is produced no response. And what's the reason behind it? All of the nerves work as a union. So when the impulses come in the union or in the cumulative form, it produces the all responses, means it produces the fully response. And when the one or the two nerve fiber get the impulses, it doesn't produce any response. Why? Because it have tendency or potency to work in the form of the union. So this is a basic concept of the all or none response. Now what is efficacy? And what is the difference between the efficacy and potency? Efficacy, maximum effect that a drug can produce regardless of dose, depend on the number of drug receptor complexes formed. Efficacy extended from full agonists that produce a maximal response and full antagonists that bind to the receptor but which do not produce any measurable response because it is antagonist in nature. Now intrinsic activity of drug. Intrinsic activity relate to whether the drug can activate the receptor. Some drugs that are the agonist in nature can change the conformation of the receptor and cause the activation of the response. But in the another condition, in the case of antagonist, when it bind to the receptor, it cannot activate it, cannot turn in the lock and open it. Efficacy measure maximum effect while potency depend on drug dose. And here you can see the difference between the potency and efficacy. Potency in easier words or in simplified word, it is affinity, and efficacy is basically activity. In the A, B and C drug, A, B and C are three drugs basically. So in the A, B, C drug, A drug is highly efficacious. B and C are less efficacious than A. Why? because in the previous slide what we can see, efficacy is activity, and here the drug A have highest activity. Next, potency. Now, amount of the drug that is needed to produce a given effect. Example, EC50 is a concentration or dose of drug that causes 50% of the maximum effect. Means the quantity of the drug, minimum quantity of the drug which produce the maximum activity. It is potency. It is determined by affinity of drug for receptor and number of receptor available. If a drug binds tightly to the receptor, receptor has the highest affinity for the drug. The drug will be a potent modulator of effects mediated by that receptor. A drug that binds very weakly with the receptor will not be very potent. So, how you can summarize the efficacy and potency? Potency, the affinity of the drug, means the tendency of the drug for binding its receptor. This is the potency. And what is the efficacy? Efficacy is the activity of the drug. Okay, again you can see in that picture, while moving in the left hand side, the potency is increasing. Why? Because the minimum amount of the drug is required in drug A to produces the same effect as produced by the B, C and D. So drug A is highly potent. Why? Because its ability to binding the receptor is high. So its less amount or less dose is required to produce the same effect as produced by the B, C and D. Now there are the two types of the responses. First is the graded response of the drug. Any action or effect of drug that is continuously variable, graded from no response up to the maximal response, or as the name indicate of the heading, graded, so it is variable. For example, a drug dependent increase in heart rate could vary with the dose of the drug in an individual from 0 beats per minute to 10, 22, 35 or 50 beats. Means beats depend upon the drug dose. May not be applicable to the other patients because of the potential variability between the patient in their absorption, distribution or metabolism of the drug. And this is the curves of graded response of drug. All are the variable, and with the increment of the dose, heart rate also increases. Effect of the various concentration of acetylcholine on the isolated small intestine of the rabbit showing graded response. As you can see, it is variable and increasing continuously. So it is basically the graded dose response. Now second is a counter response of the drug. Counter response are of the either yes or no variety. Example of the counter responses are as follows: relief of headache, sleep, prevention of convulsions. Counter responses corresponding to clinically relevant endpoint are determined in a large population of the patient in the clinical trials. Counter response data are used to establish and safety and efficacy of the drug. So basically it is used in researches, not in the clinical practices. And this is the curves of the counter dose response. Now my question is, a laboratory is conducting a study to assess the safety, efficacy and potency of a group of drug before allowing the agent to produce to clinical trial. Figure A show the dose response curve for 4 different drugs for the same class of the medication, drug A, B, C and D. Which of the following is true regarding these medications? and these are the curves. Now options are: drug A has greater efficacy than drug D has a greater efficacy than drug A has greater potency than drug drug D has a greater potency than drug A. All four drugs have equal potency. This is basically the simple MCQs but tricky MCQs. So reply me or comment your answer in the comment box. Now this is a main question of this lecture. Does potency predict the clinical efficacy? And the answer is potency is an expression of the activity of the drug in terms of the concentration or amount of the drug required to produce a defined effect, whereas clinical efficacy judges the therapeutic effectiveness of the drug in the human. So this is basically the comparison. The differing method of evaluating the activity of the antihistamine in vitro and in vivo can lead to inconsistent results, which complicate the use of potency to predict the clinical efficacy. Further, a therapeutic behavior is modulated by pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic parameters and by further interaction at sites other than the target receptor. It does not necessarily follow that more potent drugs have greater clinical efficacy. And what is the reason behind that? As described in the above two paragraphs. So that's all about this lecture. Thank you so much for listening, and Allah Hafiz.